I'd like to share with you a Reiki healing method for clearing away stuck things in your life. And say it kind of generally like that, stuck things, because it's hard to pinpoint exactly what we're talking about because oftentimes the stuck places in our lives they're full on patterns that may even be inherited or even for past lives if you believe in past lives, things that have come down through either through our spirit or through our DNA line that are still areas of karma, I guess you could say, where you need to recognize what it is and then lift it, release it. And so, for example, say you're in the same kind of relationship again and again and again, and each time you get with a new person you think, okay, it's going to be different this time, and then slowly they turn into this same old, stuck pattern person in your life, and you can't understand how that's happening. Well, what's happening is that chakras are your chakras spin both right and left, both yin and yang. And the yin is the feminine drawing energy, and the yang is the masculine seeking energy. And given with these different thought patterns, these different experiences we've had in our lives or possibly past lives, we get stuck places in our chakras, and it's almost like a signature of a certain experience, and that's how karma gets passed on, so that we keep learning these lessons, so we don't just forget about a lesson that we screwed up in the past. It always comes back until we get it. And so at the point when you recognize it, when you see these mirrors in your life of all these different repeated situations that are the same situation in essence over and over again, at that moment you have a great opportunity to release some old karma. At the moment that you see it and get it and say, oh, this is a pattern. Okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? Okay, I see it, I get it. It's about intimacy, or it's about projecting my anger or something like that. Oh, okay, I get it. At that point, you can send energy to yourself and release that pattern. And I use Reiki to do this because Reiki is a very thorough and user-friendly energy modality, where the Reiki symbols themselves will connect you up. If it's a past life issue, the Honsha Shonin will connect you past, present, and future, right? And Chokurei is the physical level, Seiki is the spiritual level, Honsha Shonin is mental, and I said that wrong. It's Chokurei is physical, Seiki is emotional, Honsha Shonin is mental and past, present, and future, and then the Daikomyo is the spiritual. So you're connecting up all levels of your being, all levels of your auric fields when you do a clearing and you have Reiki training, right? And now some of us have been Reiki masters in a past life and we don't know it. So even if you haven't received it, you may find that you're a very effective energy worker and be like, why is that? And if that's the case, then this should just work for you just fine. But if you find that you're not very tuned in energetically, you may need to receive Reiki. Reiki is given in several attunements where you get your energy tuned up each time. You get kind of the fuzz tuned out of your energetic radio. And so even just receiving one or two is going to help. One or two attunements is going to help you very much. And of course, 3 be very, very powerful as far as lifting at all levels of your being. But even if you have no training at all, or attunements at all, they're depending on who you are and how great your need is to lift this, you can be possibly very effective just as you are. So I would just suggest that you try this and then see if your life mirrors change, right? So place your hands on your heart chakra and then think about those stuck patterns in your life, where you can see, it happened here and it happened in this job and it happened in that one. And, and even my lemonade stand when I was 3 years old, I was still having trouble with money in this way, right? Something like that. So hold that. That's called bringing up a thought field. So hold that thought where you recognize the pattern and the feelings that go with it. You'll feel certain stuck chakras, certain stuck places. Your stomach might be upset if it's, it was upsetting experiences, something like that. You just hold that And then you set the intention right now that you're going to release it throughout all space and time. And just send love from yourself to yourself through your hands. So you're placing your hands on your heart chakra, sending love to your core, right, to the heart, but to the core where all the chakras and meridians connect up. And setting the intention, I'm clearing and releasing this pattern throughout all space and time. And you may feel certain chakras release, or parts of your body release where that old memory was stored. You may feel a little, as it releases in the shoulder, in the stomach, in the spine, near the root chakra, right? And then some emotions may come up as you release those blocks. And just keep sending yourself love. You may need to move a hand to a different spot, like to the throat, if that starts to block up. That's where trust issues come up often. Or down to the stomach if that's feeling upset. Just keep sending love to yourself with the intention of releasing these old patterns on all levels of your being. Physical, energetic, where the chakras and the meridians are, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Those are the auric planes going out from you. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Now you'll know that it's changed when your life mirrors change, right? When you stop experiencing that same pattern again and again and again, you'll know that it's changed. Now sometimes there are some similar patterns, but they should be slightly different, right? It shouldn't be seeing the same pattern again and again. And that's how you know it's changed, right? And if it doesn't, then you might want to explore a little bit about your energy. Like I say, get a Reiki attunement, something like that. If you have muscle testing training, you can ask. You can use muscle testing, like self-muscle testing, where you're asking a yes or a no. A no would be weak. Yes is strong. No is weak. And so I'm actually pulling through my fingers here. If you know, I'm pulling through this way. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll get it. If you don't, that's a whole nother class in itself. But you can use muscle testing to ask yourself, did I clear it? Yes. Okay. Is there something else I need to clear on this? No. Okay. Right. And work with it that way. If you are a pendulum dowser, if you know how to use the pendulum, you can do the same thing. Did I clear it? Did I release it? That's my yes symbol. Do I need to do any more on that? No. Okay. Right? So you can use the pendulum or the muscle testing to get a gauge on what is going on. And before you do the clearing, you can ask, is this the root? Is this the root of this? Or is there another memory that I need to call up? Do I have them all here that I need in order to clear this thoroughly? Right? Oh no, there's another memory. Okay. And then you can ponder on that memory and see if something else comes up. And when it does, you'll be like, oh, yes, that's the seed one. I get that. Okay, all right, now I'm ready to clear. That kind of thing. That's how muscle testing and the pendulum work can be helpful in this kind of clearing. But often, you may be driving in your car and you'll just be kind of meditating on something, pondering on something, and go, oh, it's a pattern. I get it. And you don't have to wait. You don't have to muscle test or anything. You can just right then and there. You don't have to, you can do one hand, have one on the steering wheel, right? And just set the intention right there. I'm releasing this with love. I'm releasing this right now, right? And that can be very effective right then and there. Yeah. So don't suffer with these repeated patterns for any longer than you need to. Sometimes they are so old, so ancient, and they've been in your auric field and you've learned the same lesson over and over and over again. And what you didn't do was simply say, I'm done. I don't want to learn this lesson anymore. And that was all the universe needed you to say. Oh, okay. Well, let's move on then. Right? That's all. And that's what these clearings are, is like, I get it. Next, can we do something else now? Right? And then your body and your auric fields and the universe that you interact with, that you co-create with what comes out of your chakras, will respond in kind and bring you a new life experience. Okay, for more information about this and to work with me in person, if you are interested in that, go to amyalisontaylor.wordpress.com. That's my website, amyalisontaylor.wordpress.com, or you can go to my blog site, which is called Woo Corner at WordPress also. Woo Corner. Namaste.